we've been talking about gold hitting this $1,000 level, and of course we have finally reached there.
Yeah, the magic number, Stephen. It's certainly dominating the news today. That gold at above 1,000. Look, let's not ignore the other ones. Copper was also up 3%. The rand stubbornly strong down at 7.52. I imagine will probably have an impact a little bit later down the line, but let's not ignore the fact that the resource is getting a real good bounce, and certainly on the back of what appears to be a weakening dollar against all the cross currencies, definite demand for physical assets.
Now, is this just renewed risk appetite that's pushed that dollar up to 145 against the euro at the moment?
It's a difficult one because a lot of us sitting in the trading room are scratching our heads, because if it is an interest in certainly riskier assets, why is gold sitting at? Why is everyone having that risk-averse play into gold too? So someone's going to win this battle. Either it's going to be the gold bugs or it's going to be the others. But
so it's just pushing all theories out the window, really.
Exactly. Tear up the rule book at the moment.
Of course, I mean, you were talking about the rand at 750, 752, and that really negates the impact of the stronger gold price on our gold miners. So it's not really good news for them, is it?
I think if you have to certainly look down into the basic fundamentals, the local producers like Harmonies who have majority of the earnings, all their mine shafts and activities onshore in South Africa, this rand must be killing them. It is not good news for them to have a rand at these levels. But saying that, when the gold price starts to run and a lot of these miners are dual listed overseas, they certainly don't look at the basic rand gold price. They just look at the fact that gold is running and they want exposure to it, and what better to have than certainly buying our local gold shares.
Of course, you were talking about other commodities also powering ahead, like copper. And of course, this time last week when you came in, we had the markets on the back foot. We had worries about the Chinese economy and whether Chinese stimulus spending would continue. And that sent us back. Has that all disappeared now?
I don't think it's disappeared. I think September is going to be a tricky month. We all know it is. Certainly, most of the traders back in front of their screens now. The end of summer overseas. I don't think it's gone away. I just think there might have been a bit of rejuggling of portfolios. Certainly, I don't think people can help themselves when the dollar price is getting so smacked. You have to protect yourself against a weakening dollar. I guess the trick going forward is there's nothing wrong with a weakening currency, but you don't want to see a currency that's an absolute panic and start selling. You don't want to see it going to 150, 155 against the euro, because that's going to cause all sorts of problems.
I mean, looking at the broader market, of course, we had the gold and resources stocks doing quite well today. Industrial is really quite flat, though, so it didn't feed through to the entire market.
It was a funny day. If you certainly drilled down to some of the different sectors. The banks were started sort of weak on the back foot, finished up quite positively. If you look at the more rand counters, the more sort of defensive plays, even after a good trading update from Aspen, you had some of the pharmaceuticals looking a bit weaker. You had SA breweries down for most of the day. So it wasn't a brilliant across the board like we've seen in the past, the last month or two. There definitely were some sectors which were struggling to make gains and get into the green.
And what sort of volumes were we seeing in the markets? Decent?
I didn't see the closing bell, but it was certainly the volumes were a lot better than we yesterday. I mean, we had battled to make, I think, 5 or 6 billion.
And of course, yesterday we had the US close, so really
so
no direction.
It appears that there is interest back in the market.